Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another educational commentary. For those of you new here, essentially what I do is I talk about what I'm thinking about, what I'm doing, so that you guys can see the consistencies across all my games and apply it to your games. So, today we are playing in Platinum and Emerald, and we are playing Vayne AD carry against Miss Fortune. Let's jump into the action, ladies and gentlemen. So, in ADC Vayne, my objective is essentially to make sure I try to isolate MF in a 1v1. That's my goal. I don't want to put myself in a position where Thresh can hit me and MF. Only one person. Alright, let's start with the laning phase. So, I'm staying away from the brushes so I don't get hooked at a weird angle. We're going to start with an auto on a minion. Get it rolling a little bit. And when MF goes for an auto here, I might tumble forward and slap her. Ooh! Oh, sad. Okay. So she does have Q. Right there, boom. Thresh goes for an auto. We give him a little slap. Terrible CSing by Saskio. Ping the ward for 5 gold. Tumble forward, hit the Thresh at an angle where he can't auto back. And now let's contest level 2. I think we're about to lose level 2. So we're going to ward here real quick because they're going to be clearly level 2. Try to bait the Thresh hook by using the zone of influence concept, where we draw out the ranges of our opponents' abilities and attacks and stay outside of it, in this case. Sometimes you can go inside of it, that's fine. Wow, that was bad by me. That was terrible. But that's fine, let's pop a potion here, try to bait out Thresh Hook. And don't get hit by MFQ, they hurt. We'll let the wave push towards us, but this is the reality of Vayne AD carry sometimes. Even in Platinum Emerald, you can't just YOLO fight people. I got my trades, but I didn't necessarily win. So we're farming here. Try to bait Thresh Hook, maybe. Otherwise, we'll let the wave crash, and we will just keep farming. This is just a very realistic Vayne gameplay that you're gonna run into. Oh my god! I can probably proc my PTA here, and then pull the wave. Good kite back right there. And we still have a freeze. So if they want to break the freeze, they have to walk up with the half HP that they're at right now, and now we can potentially kill them because we are 3. The question here is, do I level my E or do I level my Q or W? Because it does cost a lot of mana. I leveled my Q there to try to get more damage on it. Right here. Oh, their jungler's actually here. Ah, that's sad. Alright. I believe the wave is still pushing towards us, so it's actually not terrible what just happened here. We're gonna go the classic static Trinity Force Vayne build that I really despise this game. Just to put it out there that Saskio has built it before, and we'll go from there. But again, guys, I'm still personally a huge fan of Blade of the Rune King, Rageblade, and Wit's End. Just keep that in mind. I'm a huge static Trinity hater, especially after the static nerfs, where they nerfed the damage by 50 to minions, I believe. But overall, from an objective point of view, the wave state was good. So even though we died, we traded 1 for 1, and we're happy because the wave's pushing towards us. We get to catch the wave, and then we'll have the wave bouncing back towards MF in a second. So yeah. So a little piece of advice when you're playing bot lane without presence of mind, because top lane you'll have presence of mind, is at level 3, if you notice that your mana is really bad and you're probably not going to use your E anyways, you may as well level up another point in Q or W. Get that bit of extra damage bonus instead of having a point in E that literally does nothing for you. So we are building the slow push back. We have a non-cannon into cannon, and then the next 2 waves are non-cannon. We are going to crash the wave on the next wave that's coming. It should spawn right now. Let's try to get some little pieces of poke like that in. Pock is bone plating. Back up. Kind of hard to zone an MF. And then now, if we get ganked, we have the best chances possible to outplay them because we have a big minion wave. Hopefully Nami pops a ward, so I don't have to. I'll make sure. Oh, okay. No hook. I have an angle here. Oh, that's so sad. Imagine. So what you can do is it's possible to catch someone midair, but your E has to almost like be on them as they're about to take the lantern to push them out of it. So we did a 3-wave crash. I'm going to base here because I have no mana. It's not worth staying. So we'll take a base. Next wave is unfortunately a non-cannon wave. So essentially what I did there was I built up a non-cannon into cannon into non-cannon, then I based. But the issue with that is the next wave that's after that is a non-cannon wave. Ideally, you want to be building up waves in a way where it goes cannon, right here, cannon, non-cannon, non-cannon, crash, and then you base. Because the next wave that's coming is a cannon wave. So this wave is a cannon right here, and then that's the wave you want to base on, like, while it's coming. So if in case the enemy team clears the wave, hard shoves the wave, it's really hard to shove a cannon wave, and on top of that, if they manage to do it, the cannon soaks up 8 tower shots for you. Whoa. She has no mana, so we can probably go and tank the wave for this. Oh, this guy's clean! Tank it, Nami. Nice, good job, beauty. That is called a good support right there. Nami, clean, good job. So we're gonna catch the wave here. They unfortunately did successfully crash the wave, so it's actually it's bad for them that they died, sure, but it's not terrible. Like, I don't have a freeze on them essentially, because the wave is bouncing back, so they know even after they come back from the death, they're still going to get something, which is the wave in this case. So right now we're gonna do a 2-wave crash. It's 2 non-cannons, which is fine, as we can see here, because the next wave that's spawning is going to be a cannon minion. What Nami should do here is look to roam mid, in my opinion, because she has nothing to do with bot lane. Because I'm going to base in a second, grab static Shiv, and then come back. And then Nami has no one to lane with down here, essentially. Because I'm going to base, grab my static Shiv, and go from there. So instead, as Nami, in the future what you can do is you can roam here, if you're playing support. Ward somewhere around there, maybe. And then see if there's a potential mid gank. And then make the gank happen. And then if you're low, you obviously base, come back. Your ADC lets the wave push in. If you're still high HP, you can just run straight bot lane and continue laning. So, when you have static Shiv, you can't really do that wave management tactics anymore of like 3-wave or 2-wave. A lot of times, you'll end up just doing 2-wave crashes because that's all you can do with static Shiv. So, let's continue on. Wave's pushing towards us. I'm going to probably just push the wave back, but I'm going to try to cheese the MF here. So let's see if we can get on top of her and push her up against the wall and, you know what I'm saying. All right. So let's see if I can get an angle here, walk up with those big boobas. When she goes for these, I'm going to go on her. Right now. Flash immediately and just match. Very nice. And now we will catch the wave. And we'll clear the wave. You can't really freeze when you have static Shiv, which is a disadvantage of this item that people don't necessarily talk about. But I figure anyone who buys this item don't really care too much about waves once they have the item, which is fine. So now, finally, we can probably get 1 plating here. 10 minutes into the game. Okay, let's get our 1 plating and we base. You don't go for 2 here for tempo reasons. Let me explain in a second once I get it. We'll grab it. If you overstay here and hit this tower, okay? And I call this the Reglay situation. For those of you who know who Reglay is, he's someone in my Twitch stream and my community who plays Vayne top, and he got coaching from me before. But basically, what he did in top lane Vayne in one of the matchups is, after he took a tower plating, which is exactly what I just did, right? He stayed for another plating, and he didn't even get the plating. What happened was when the enemy top laner came back, the enemy top laner ran him down, and he died, okay? And then he ended up losing 2 plates and then 2 minion waves. Even if he lived and then based, the issue with that is the enemy top laner still pushes in the wave, and you lose that entire wave, and you still lose 2 platings. So that's like, it's really bad to overstay because the enemy team can do a lot of things to you that is very bad. They can run you down, hold you in the lane a lot longer than you should be, and you do not want to be in that position. So that's why it's very important to understand how long you have to sit on the map to take a tower. So right now, if I killed MF right now, I can go for 2 platings, 3 platings, because I'm so ahead in tempo, right? Because I have no reason to base, even after I kill MF right here. And yeah. So this, hopefully she walks up here and I'll just kill her. I'm so sad. This is what happens when you nerf Triumph from 10% to 5%, is you can't do stuff like that. But if I killed her there and lived, I would walk all the way around, clear this next wave, push, and then grab 2 platings, and then take a base. Or 1 plating even, that's fine too. Today's a sad day, ladies and gentlemen. But we tower dove an MF from full HP. But yeah, it is what it is. Alright, so going back, the wave is still pushed. It seems a little odd, that wave, because it did get skewed over a little bit. I still think the wave is pushing towards us. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes you'll have wave states where like any challenger player still can't, like, has to look at it, and they still can't tell which direction it goes in a split second, because the waves get skewed over by little things like someone, there's static Shiv proccing, right? Or someone hitting one or pulling one a weird way. So things like that do matter when it comes to minion waves, but you'll know when you see a wave state, like you'll just know. But most of the time, like 90% of the time, you look at a wave for a split second and you'll know which direction it's going in. Alright. Trade with me. Oh. Alright. That was unfortunate. Bad trade, bad trade. So let's see if we can find a fruit plant here. If not, let's try to cheese this MF and kill her. I think I can do it. My ego is so big right now with 244 HP. I want to get plates. Ladies and gentlemen, the ego is in fact kicking in. Hopefully MF base, so I can get platings. Okay, she based. We can get platings. God bless. So now we can get plates just before the 14-minute marker. And we have Sheen too, which is beautiful. The question is can I get another one here? No, I cannot. Can I beat MF with this HP? I feel like I can. Huh. I misplayed that for sure. My E didn't push her into a wall. So, something I'm starting to mention more and more with these educational commentaries, I'm gonna bring more awareness to it, because a lot of you guys watch my videos, right? And you'll say, Sasio, it all makes so much sense, right? It makes so much sense. The wave state, like the way you're thinking, the way you're dodging, all this stuff makes sense. But the biggest issue is implementation on your end, right? Because me, I'm like a challenger player, been playing League for over like, what, 10 years now? The implementation is there for me. But for you guys, the implementation isn't there. However, it's so hard to teach the implementation portion, aka execution, aka mechanics. So, my biggest piece of advice when you're watching any Saskio LOL videos, okay, is you want to pay attention to my mouse and the way I control my camera in each scenario. You want to look at my mouse, you want to look at the ability usage. Oh shit. Wait, that's not a Nami? Okay, anyways. We just got 4-man ganked. I thought that was a Nami behind me about to heal me. But you want to look at the execution of how I do things. You want to look at, number 1, take notes right now, okay? For all future videos. My mouse movement. How I move and control my mouse, okay? You want to look at how precise it is, right? You want to look at my camera control. For me, I can't explain my camera control. My body does it naturally, okay? The only way I'll explain it is if I watch it back with you and I explain why I'm moving my camera a certain way, right? So that is something that's so natural to me, I don't think about it. But for you, you're going to have to think about it, which is fine. You have to develop it, right? And then from there, you want to look at how I conduct myself around my opponents. And I teach this concept very simply, right? Zone of influence. I teach you guys, you look at the areas that people can impact, how big their abilities are, how fast it travels, and what you need to do in your current position to dodge it. And then I create a game plan around it so that I'm able to stick to my opponents and run them down. So take notes of all that. And as you start to watch my gameplay, you can look to see the consistencies and how and why I'm moving a certain way. In every single scenario, it's always identical on repeat over and over again. So this is like the first time I'm being really real with YouTube, with you guys, on playing like any League of Legends character, and especially Vayne top lane. Is that's what you want to look at. Because all these oh shit. What? Okay. Anyways. But pretty much is you want to pay attention to all these things if you truly want to get better. You have to break down and essentially itemize each thing that I'm doing so that you can start applying it to yourself. I don't do that. I don't itemize every little thing because, again, it happens so naturally for me. So then I'm able to think about other things in the game. I can allocate my brain resources to other things, such as, okay, how am I going to deal with this guy? Where is the jungler pathing? Where's he at right now? What am I going to do if this guy does X, right? If he walks up to here, right? And then naturally, my body does all those things. Camera control, mouse movement, where I should be standing in that scenario. And I'm able to think about other things. But for the people that is new to Vayne Top or just learning League of Legends in general, you're thinking about those things, so you're not able to allocate the resources to look at the other things that you want to look at to make those like crazy Vayne highlight plays. You're worrying about your mouse movement, your mechanics, right? All these little things. So that is why implementation is very important, and making sure that you have consistency and games on your belt so that your body just does things naturally so you can think about other things. So yeah, that's a huge rant for you guys to absorb. Hopefully it didn't turn you guys off, but that is the reality of anything you do in life, is what I've noticed. Not just League of Legends. Alright, let's push mid here. Herald doesn't make sense here, but I'll just take the tower. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to pop Herald there. Take tower, help this guy take wolves, and then we have Dragon 57. Someone should be pushing out top lane. I guess Vel'Koz can't side lane. Let's just push mid here. I make a Hecarim ulted. No. I'm so sad. Alright, that's okay. My teammates end up winning, but they don't have the Herald to push, because it is possible to take Nexus turrets here, but I am dead. But let's grab our items. Let's grab a pickaxe. So, going back to the item builds. You have Static Shiv here, Trinity Force, and I believe you always go Immortal Shield Bow, because you don't have Lifesteal in this scenario. You can also go Blade of the Rune King here too, based on the suggested items. So those options are all fine. I'm gonna go with the Immortal Shield Bow. I feel like it's gonna be pretty good into the Kennen and Hecarim and Nefiri, who is trying to pop me. So let's head mid lane here and make sure we don't die again. Make sure we get this Herald onto the map. And try to take a inhib turret with it. When you're playing ADC, Vayne, and it comes to macro in mid game, generally speaking, just ADC in general, you go mid, right? So that you centralize yourself with your support, so you guys can set up vision on either side and just be at any objective. With Vayne in particular, however, you do have the opportunity to side lane as if you're playing Vayne top, even though you're Vayne ADC. The opportunity is there if your mid laner is a terrible side laner. And admittedly, Vel'Koz is a terrible side laner. But champions like Kiana, Zed, maybe even Victor, maybe Ahri, they can side lane a little bit better. So then you'd obviously just go mid. The game's easy. So it looks like our Herald's dying here. I'm just gonna pop it just to get it off me. And then we'll clear this pink ward. And then it looks like we're just gonna do Baron here, which is fine. Let's go. Keep the game clean, keep it simple, don't do anything too much. The Hecarim decided to die a 1v1 against Akshan, so we're just gonna go for this. Notice how I'm using the wall to break my Q so that I can output my damage a little bit faster. Just very small detail stuff. And I'll probably just end up basing here. Not worth it. It's just a crit cloak. I do want to get around 600 gold before I do base. So let's try to force that out real quick. Let's grab this. Make sure we get the cannon. And I'm going to grab this Raptors right here, and it should be enough for my Immortal. Alright, so let's take a base and grab my Immortal Shield Bow. And let's get back on the map, and hopefully our teammates don't die in that time. But notice, guys, when people base, it ruins the tempo for everyone in the game. Look at my Briar. She's in a position to start pressuring right now. Akshan's back on the map trying to fight, and we're only just basing. Imagine if someone gets caught here and dies, which would be very bad for the team, right? Because it slows down our ability to pressure the map if someone dies. But that's just the reality when it comes to just basing on off timers. It screws everyone over. That's why you'll tend to notice in high elo games, not even high elo games, LCS level games. Yeah. You'll notice in LCS level games, everyone bases at the same time together, comes onto the map at the same time to pressure together without a care about their items. They can be short 100 gold, they will just base anyways, and come back onto the map with their team. Because as long as you guys are together, set up together, fight together, die together, then you are perfectly fine, if you're winning. So right now... Oh, there's a half HP hack, I'm sure. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Huh. Okay. I was lagging. Alright guys, be honest in the YouTube comments. How many times do you guys get into a scenario where people do things on their own, like how I just did and Briar did, and then you guys end up dying? You guys come back on the map, do it maybe another time, and then all of a sudden now the enemy team has come back into the game and now you lose. I know for a fact some of you guys has had that situation happen before. But let's continue on. Let's grab Phantom Dancer. That's why it goes back to the importance of what I just talked about earlier. You base together, you come on the map together. Even if someone is short an item by like a couple gold, it's fine. As long as you guys are together, you guys will still beat the enemy team because you're winning. So that is why you don't do what we just did. And now imagine if Akshan died right here, right? It slows down our tempo again. And then now someone else goes in right after me or Vel'Koz. Then we die again. And then it's just a repetition of dying. While the enemy team catches the waves, then all of a sudden you guys are down EXP. So you want to avoid that problem if you can in solo queue. I understand it's solo queue. You can't control what your teammates do. But you want to control what you can, which is yourself, and try to put your team in the best position you possibly can to avoid scenarios like that. So how to avoid that scenario? Well, don't walk up to the turret, for my case. And then that wouldn't have happened, and then we are able to int it after, and then it's just bad from there. So right now, the clean objective to go for is dragon in 20 seconds. Step around the dragon. If they try to walk in, throw a poke at them, back up, and then fight together. Grab the dragon, and then after the dragon, we siege mid and bot as a team together. That is the cleanest way to play out this game. Right now, Hecarim's pushing top, which is the correct play by the enemy team. They cannot contest the dragon, so they go to the opposite side of the map. And their objective right here is to kill our top laner, which is Akshan, if he's there. Unfortunately, he's bot lane. But it's still good for them, because Hecarim gets his turret. So he gets some gold for his teammates, and he trades on the map. But right now, we're going to ignore the Hecarim, sacrifice the tower. He should base here, or clear that wave, then base. And then look to defend with his teammates. That's what he should do. Because if you're going to lose an objective on one side of the map, you may as well go to the other side and get something on that side. Instead of standing around on the side that you're going to lose the objective on anyways. And then just losing it for free and not getting anything on the opposite side of the map. Which is a lose-lose scenario. Which is what you want to avoid. Oh, something's happening here. There's a Hecarim behind us. There you go. And the enemy team is dead, and we will now push bot lane. It appears Kennen does have all. You can see the way he's moving. He wants to get in there. And he is dead. He's the last one alive. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. This entire game was mainly an explanation on mechanical side of things. But regardless, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys drop a like, hit the sub button, and have a good rest of your day.